Okay, welcome to another one of our insights and updates training for pool funding. And we just got done watching a crazy video here. Let me share my screen real quick. So we were watching this highest human blob launch wins. So let me grab the link to that real quick as I'm referencing it, and we'll put that into the Telegram group. Let's see here, pool funding. There we go. So if you want to have a minute of just pure joy and just, kind of watch some young men going a little crazy, this is it's pretty amazing video there. So share stop sharing. All right, so before I played that video, I asked those that were early if they are open and ready and positioned to receive that which they want. And they say, yes, yes, okay, yeah, we're going to talk about that. I want to help you guys to receive what you want. Okay, so the starting point on this is first get to know what you want. Okay, believe it or not, when you ask people the question, "What do you want?" You'd be surprised how many people stutter, silence, hesitate. So many people are so far removed from what they want that's why they're not getting what they want. So they don't have any clarity going on. Okay, so you can kind of say if you really do want to receive, you kind of got to start with some clarity on the subject of what do you want. We all want different things. Okay, some of us might want to be those young men, jumping around in the pond there and having a great time. Others might want something completely different. We're all kind of are different, and we have different things that bring us joy and the things that matter to us. And I was just watching a video earlier today. I think it's this one here. I think I still have it open. And I'll probably post this one as well. Yeah, this one. Guys, this is CZ. He's the one, the founder of Binance. Okay. They just let him out of prison. He was spent four he spent 4 months in prison, guys, And so I think you guys could, get a lot. I haven't finished the video. I'm only about 2 minutes in, but I get an idea already what he's going to talk about there. But I'll put that in there too. But he was asked the question, so, what did you miss while you were in prison? And his answer, first of all, he prefaced his answer by saying, well, I'm probably the richest guy that was ever been thrown in prison ever in the history of the world. So, um, and so, yeah, if you don't even know what I'm talking about, you're really not into the crypto news. I guess you could say that, but you might want to learn a little bit about Binance since we're using the Binance network. Um, anyway, he said that, um, you know, having been, the probably the richest person ever thrown in prison, that probably just made it very dangerous for even more dangerous for him to be there, right? You can only imagine, right? You're around a bunch of, let's just put it out there, criminals, and usually that's what prisons are holding, right? And if you're the richest dude there, it's gonna kind of stand out. Oh, and some people might want to try to leverage that. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? But it was 4 months. But you know what he said? He said the thing he missed most about prison was the human connection. Being with his family, being with his friends. You know, so it wasn't the you know the private jets and all the things you can think of when you're talking about multi billionaire. Um, it was that human connection. That's what he missed because that's where his joy is. And so again, each of us are going to have joy. We're going to find that in different places. It's going to matter in a different way for each of us. But answering the question, what do you want? It's an important question to answer. You got to answer that question within because you don't really have a starting point. Life is just like a ride. Like you're in the passenger seat. If you don't have clarity on it's if someone asks you what you want, you should be very, very clear. You should be on the tip of your tongue at all times. It's what I want. It's what I'm going for. It's what I'm shooting for. And you know, and and just have clarity on that, and then just enjoy life as you are to receive. But the timing is not necessarily in our total power and control. But eventually, if we hang in there, we end up getting what we want. Those that give up too early, those are the ones that end up being bitter, because they think the world's against them, and they don't realize that it's just the opposite of that. You just don't realize it. So to receive, I think I underline one thing for everyone in this group. I think everyone here would want to receive abundance for themselves and for everyone connected to us, right? We want abundance for everybody around us, right? So we're seeking abundance. That's something we're after. And yeah, you can measure that in dollars and cents to a certain point, but on another level, right? It's measured in how much joy you have in your life, and that can have nothing to do with dollars and cents, right? Because joy is one of those things that if that's your true target, you got to just go straight to that target, and probably the money's going to follow that. So it's not like the money comes first and then the joy. Sometimes it's the joy leads first, then the money. Okay. In fact, I'd say that's probably the more normal thing. It can happen both ways. So, if you really are positioned to receive that which you seek, and let's say that's abundance, okay, then let me give you, the fork in the road here, okay, the receiving point, okay. Some people think that it's over here that, okay, when the world delivers, when the world provides, then I'm just watching the world to receive. Okay, and over here, there's people that say no. I know what I want, and I know that I'm loved, and I know I'm going to get what I want, and it's just a matter of a process, right? And sticking to a process, and that when that what you want arrives, you're just grateful that in fact you're expressing gratitude even before receiving it. That's usually the case, that you already kind of live in the moment of receiving before actually receiving, and you're expressing yourself in a maybe in a spiritual sense that you already have received, right? And then life just unfolds, and then it shows up. Okay. So on Sundays, I do like to spend a little time talking about some of the higher stuff. Okay. And I hope this is helping you out here. And I want to go back to the first video. The them playing on that lake blob. They jump on it, send somebody else flying off, into the air. So in order for the person to go to the air, these other guys they jumped off a platform and they fell down. So as they fell down, they hit one side of the blob, and the guy on the other end of the blob went flying, right? So don't let the craziness that you're about to see, don't call me a prophet either, because I'm just somebody paying attention, okay, that you're about to see in November, December, January. We're going to see probably some stuff we've never seen before, never thought was possible. I mean, there's, some of us that are really, kind of not paying attention. we might be like, how do we live in a world like this? Um, you see, that's the world coming down, just like they're jumping off the platform and they're falling down onto one end of that blob. So we're going to see a lot of things that we just take for granted, or we just say, what we might consider normal or standard, or a lot of the things that we think is normal and standard, and this is how the world works. A lot of that is not going to be true by the time we get into February. Okay? A lot of the things you believed is the way the world works won't be true ever again, because I'm just calling it craziness, okay? Right? And we could probably spend an hour talking about what craziness looks like, but I think most of you know what I'm talking about, right? It's everything. And so what's really going to happen is that if you are ready to receive, and not everybody will be, but if you're positioned and ready to receive, then this is going to catapult you so high. You're going to be like, you're going to launch. Okay. So as the craziness increases, those that are well positioned and ready to receive, they're going to be receiving. They're going to actually be, having some, amazing things happen, you know. So where's the power here? What would be, in the case I'm talking about here, we're talking about the feature of the blob itself, right? The thing that they're jumping on and everything, right? The blob, that's not the world. In this allegory, you know, the world is those guys jumping off the platform. That's the world, right? Falling, right? Blob is something else. And it's just power. Let's just call it power. Okay. Now, what if I told you, I mean, as excited as we are in the power of AI, what if I told you that inside of each of us, right here, inside of each and every one of us, it, makes AI look small, makes any technology we could ever develop, that's out in the world, used in the world, makes it's small and finite and and imperfect, but within each of us is a perfect power. It is indestructible. It is it is forever. It is you know it has no limits, right? And only our human minds put limitations on it. And so, like layers of an onion, we wrap, this infinite power that's within each of us with all these reasons why we're going to live in limitation and lack, and it can get ugly from there. So to properly position yourself to receive that which you want, you have to go inside, guys. You have to go inside. You need to do it. Probably the most common way to do that in the world today is through prayer. Okay. Some people access it through meditation, others through mindfulness, but there are many ways to go inward and to attach yourself to that great power, that blob of power, right? That can put you where you want to go. It can launch you into great joy and prosperity and everything. Right? So all things are possible within that power. I mean, we have a lot of people in pool funding that have accepted defeat, and I'm sorry, I'm really sad to see that. I really hate seeing that, be honest with you, where like I can't get two people to join pool funding. Well, they haven't tapped in. Okay. So if you guys will figure out what I'm talking about here, just getting people to sign up for pool funding would be an easy thing when you're tapped into that superpower. Okay. So we're giving tools for people and paid signups and all that. And we're using AI. We're doing all that to kind of help people along the way. But ultimately, we've really succeeded in pool funding when we get people to learn how to tap in. Don't tap into me, right? Tap into you. You need to tap into you, right? That's the power. And it's you connected to the all, right? And believe it or not, and you get right down to what is reality, we just call it the all, right? And then if you want to know the true nature of something, it's within the all, right? But our beliefs have a way of reflecting back to us in a worldly scene, that which we're putting our attention on. So let's talk about that. Where our attention goes, our energy, I'm just saying something that's been said 1,000 times by a whole bunch of people. Okay. Where our attention goes, energy flows, and where energy flows, that's what grows. Okay. And too many people get distracted by craziness in the world. Well, that's where their attention is going. And then in those particular lives of those people that's where their entire attention goes. It's okay to pay attention, but not to the point where you're totally connected to it. You're emotionally involved with it. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to have an awareness and just like the leaves blowing in the wind. Just calmly observe the world as it is, but realize that that's not powerful compared to what's within yourself. And what's within yourself is way more powerful. There's nothing out there in the world that is more powerful than what you got on the inside of you. Okay. And it's not unique to just leaders, it's not unique to just special people. I'm saying 100% of the people have the same power within. It's just a matter of connecting to it. And that's why I'm talking to you today, is kind of give you some hints or some clues in my own way of explaining it. But somehow you're going to have to interpret what I say and explain it to yourself so that you end up finding that connection. Once you have that connection, then you want to use the connection so you get what you want. And if you're in a position to get what you want, getting 2 people to sign up for pool funding is a non-issue. Getting 4 people to sign up for pool funding, completely a non-issue, because you're not even worried about doing it. It's going to happen, right? You can just call out for it. When you're really truly connecting, you just go, I'm ready to receive my 4 signups. You don't need AI to do that for you. You can do that just by calling out for it if you're truly connected to that power. Okay. You can become a millionaire that way. There's no limit on this. Okay. Whatever you want. Whatever you want. Underline that. Because, you're here for a reason. You came into pool funding for a reason. That's your reason. That's what you want. And then from there, we're here to help you. But sometimes I just want to teach you, especially on Sundays, I like to do this. I want to teach you guys how to reach inward to connect to that superpower that's there for all of us to connect to. Use that power. That's where your attention goes. Your attention goes to the inside. And then what happens, it will come back out as like probably a sensation of gratitude. And you probably feel loved, right? The deeper you go in, the more loved you'll feel. I can tell you that from experience. So you'll just feel you're very much loved. And then it starts to manifest, and it starts to crystallize into your own personal reality in your home, in your walk, whatever your way might be. It's there all the time with you, because you are with you all the time. And so is that power. Okay. That blob. And yes, with the craziness happening in the world, what's going to happen is like you're going to be calling out for something far greater than 2, 4 signups. You're going to find yourself going, the only way to fix what I see I'm in the middle of right now on a personal level is I'm going to need a personal miracle. When things don't add up on paper, when your living situation is tossed about because of the impact the world has on it. you may have to go, well, you don't have to stand there as a victim. You can take response ability. It's how you choose to respond. It's a response. Response. You can take responsibility. You can receive it. You can thank the teacher for showing up. Thank you, teacher, for showing up to teach me something new. I wasn't expecting this lesson, but thank you regardless. It looks like we're going to have to call for a miracle. Let's do that. Right? And there you go. And then you can become an eyewitness to one miracle after another on a personal basis. And you can know that it came through that divine connection that I've been talking about here. We all got it. Okay. And this is beyond the scope of religion. It's beyond the scope of, science. This is just kind of, if you really get down to it, it is the core truth. Okay. The human experience is about finding that connection and learning how to be part of that, where it's just there's levels to this. And some people use terminology like, the 3D level, the 5D level, the 6D level, right? There's levels to it, like what kind of experiences you're having. Okay. They come in all kinds of levels. And at the 3D level, it seems like everything's happening to you, right? But I'm telling you, it's all happening for you, even if you think it's happening to you. It's happening for you because there's agreements in place and things you forgot, and there's things you don't remember, but it's all part of your own personal story. And when did your story begin? I'm telling you, it did not begin when your mother pushed you out of her womb, okay? That's not the beginning of the story, okay? There's actually a prequel to all of that, okay? And so you might want to tap into learning more about that. There's joy to be found there, by the way. So, and just like, there isn't a grand finale when, you're going to end up 6 feet under and there's a gravestone above your body. You know what I'm saying? That's not even the end, right? Right. So we know that there's something going on here that's way beyond, a beginning and an ending. And I'm telling you, if you only knew what you are, it is multi-dimensional. You are and forever will be multi-dimensional. And where your attention goes is the level that you're choosing, whether you know you're doing it on purpose or not. Okay. Most people are kind of in an unconscious routine. They just kind of, each day passes and one's kind of like the next until the world gets kind of crazy. Then they get upset, and then they kind of find themselves using that responsibility in maybe in a way that makes things worse, instead of better, right? There are times to call for a miracle, and when those times show, you should call for it, and be grateful that such things happen. Miracles do happen, guys. Unexplainable. You can't really, there's no way to put facts and figures to a miracle, guys. That's why they call it a miracle. Something special. So if you really received the lesson I'm giving you guys today, the training I'm offering you guys today, if you really, really receive it, it's going to break you wide open where getting 2 to 4 people, that's not even a miracle. That's a small step in the right direction. It's kind of like if you can do that, maybe you can do something bigger than that. Tap into miracles. And maybe you can have a life full of joy, because I promise you that in the experience of witnessing a miracle comes the joy. So that sensation of joy, it's beyond happiness. Joy is a layer higher than, it's more special. It's a good feeling. In fact, it's so good that we want to tone it down because it's really hard to manage ourselves in a 3D kind of like, I got to drive my car over here and I got to go walk over here and I got to pick up that thing up over there and deliver it over there kind of experience. And joy is really hard to be doing any of that kind of stuff when you're just like in this moment of joy, and, but Yeah, but it's good to have as much joy as possible whenever you can get it. I mean, like Buddha, I guess he was seeking kind of a thing like nirvana, bliss or some sort of a joy, but he let the whole world go. You're set by a tree, I guess, or something like that. I don't know the whole story, but I know that he set aside the world completely to just be in joy all the time. So he's one of the few people that have done something like that. So yeah, but some people say, well, how practical is that? So there's that debate. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if we can live in joy, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And maybe we can, maybe we can't. That I'm still debating that in my own head. But for me, I just like experiencing the moments of joy, then they pass, and just kind of keep that kind of a happy state. And with bumps of joy, every once in a while I get a disappointment, but I try to keep those as short as possible. I try to keep disappointments down to, I try to keep them down to seconds, but sometimes they last minutes. But I just remind myself, think it's a teacher and thank you for showing up, teaching me. Apparently this is happening for me. That's how I handled, those disappointments. So I don't really have a fear of disappointments because they don't last very long by choice, but I'm responsible for it. So there you go. This is a great opportunity, guys. November, December, and January. It's a great opportunity for you guys to realize that you have this power and it can be used to deal with situations in your own personal life that don't make sense anymore because the world changed on you in such a drastic way that, you know, but you have to be in a place of love, not fear. Unless the world gets you, then you weren't ready to receive for you. Okay. So it is a question of receiving. Position yourself to receive. And if you do so, you're not going to be looking at the world to provide. You're going to be looking at what you already have. It's with you all the time. That's going to provide, it's abundant. The abundance is already there. It's already there. And you just have to tap into that great power. And through that, your light will shine, others will notice, and then you can help them see through some of the craziness that there's an alternative other than getting caught up in all the doom and gloom that some people want to go. So you can have an awareness of things that seem awful, but you don't have to be compelled to be drawn into it in a gloom and doom sensation. It could be like, well, that's complicated.
Yeah, you can look at it like being a fringe dweller. You can look at it and observe it, but just, stay on the outside of it, stay on the fringe of that so you don't get sucked in.
Yeah, I like that. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, sometimes there's people, in your own household or people that you're really closely connected to, they get sucked in. And then that's when it really, you're not in the fringe anymore at that point. You're now you got to deal with it, you know. But I love being on the fringe. I love when I go, I saw that on a screen, you know what I'm saying? So what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, fresh air, beautiful blue sky. My day's going great, you know. But yeah, but unfortunately, if the world has an impact, it comes more direct to you, where now you actually have to deal with another person that's part of your domain or part of your realm. Um, yeah, just uh, just realize you got choices there. There's high choices and there's low choices, and believe me, I've taken lots of the low choices over my lifetime. This didn't work, and that didn't work, and that didn't work, and that I've done them. I've done a lot of things, and thank God I got that experience because now that I'm here, I'm getting too old for do that kind of stuff anymore. You know, I'd rather deal with the higher choice. I'd rather forgive than to just try to seek revenge on someone that you know is did something I didn't like or whatever. Um, or hold a grudge, right? Yeah, it's not worth it. but sometimes you have to learn the hard way, and I definitely learned the hard way, you know. So, um, we're all in this together, guys. I don't look at myself as any better than any one of you. I just want to share what I think has been helpful to me in my life, and I've got a platform to do it here, and I would like to see that affect you financially, so you can have financial abundance. But please receive it, please receive the financial abundance that can be yours. We have a great system here. The core is in place. Certain elements are coming in to make, we're putting grease on the wheels, I guess what you're kind of, I can want on all those cogs, we're greasing them up good so that it runs a little smoother, and it makes it easier for especially the newer people joining our organization. But at the end of the day, I need you guys as much as you need me, because we're in this together. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
So we are like extending this love, right? And so it's like a love bubble, right? And we're all part of this giant love bubble, and we just make it bigger and bigger until it envelops the whole world, right? And we're not the only love bubble out there, by the way. There's plenty of communities out there that are building their own love bubbles, and thank you for being a part of this one, you know. But let's just find ways to express love and not fear. So kind of higher level stuff, some of you guys are probably like, what? That's okay. No problem with any of you that are going, what? What is this? Some of you rather have me break out a spreadsheet and talk numbers, and that's okay. I do that too, by the way. So, but it's okay. Just I just want to open something up within you. If you're ready to be opened, it's going to happen. If you're not ready, you're not ready. And there's no judgment from me to you, and hopefully there's no judgment from you to me, okay, when it comes to readiness. But I just want to tell you that I'm so excited about what's happening, because let me tell you, the winning day is when all of us see ourselves as individual sovereigns that have our own individual power, and all of us are under the umbrella of do no harm, right? We're gonna be minding our own business in a sovereign kind of way, which to me, here's freedom and here's sovereignty. Higher. Okay. You like freedom, right? Sovereignty is way better. Way better. A lot of you guys need to study
Yeah.
up on what I'm even talking about. What does it mean to be sovereign? Does that make you a royal? Well, as far in my book, all of you are royal. Look what you are. You only can figure out what you are, then you know how royal you are, you know. Okay, that's my thoughts. I hope you liked it. What'd you guys think?
Ace, I received the one thing I received, you reminded me of something that I discovered myself is you pronounced the word responsibility totally different, and it jumped out at me. Responsibility, the ability to respond. Yeah. And just know this, even though there's not a lot of response, to the things, that you've been saying, know that we cannot unhear what you said.
Well, it's been recorded too, so you can always listen to it again.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
hope and I hope you do. This is a good one. This is, for those that want to take a deep dive. This one's going to be for it's going to hit the record books. This is for the deep divers. Thank you, Dale. Dale from Colorado. Good to hear from you. Who else would like to share their thoughts, or even ask me a question if you'd like? If I've confused you, feel free to help me maybe sort it out. Give me a chance to sort out your confusion if that's what I've done here today. Whatever. I'm open to any. Let's make this interactive at this point.
There, myself and a few other guys, Joe was one of them, just before this call, an hour or so before this call, we're having a very similar conversation. So there's some sense that across the globe or in some other space, that is reaching people's minds and people's inner selves. There's sort of an awareness, a collective awareness that's going on, I think.
You're absolutely right about that. In this particular timeline, it's absolutely happening for all of us on the planet. Some people call it the cosmic, or some people talk about, there's stuff coming in from the central sun in through our solar system. But I'm going to tell you what I've found, just to take this really deep. I'm going to bounce off something really deep and come right back to 3D for a minute. But when you get down to the truest nature of reality, you'll learn that there's no such thing as time or space. Those are just imaginary things. Okay. It's so hard to, it's a persistent illusion. Okay. But yeah, we are starting to see things at a different level, because now's the time. But it's shaking everything up. It's shaking up the very earth that we stand upon. Perhaps that's why there's so much water going everywhere. You see a lot of flooding and things like that. But it's also there's just some really crazy stuff going on, and tomorrow's going to be an interesting day. I got my popcorn ready for it, and so we're gonna see what happens. For those in the U.S. for sure, and I think in other parts of the world as well. There's just a lot of interesting things happening right now, and we're gonna find out that what we were sold as, a standard for life has just been somebody else's, facade. And then it's going to become very clear that it was a facade all along, but what we thought was solid is not solid. Okay.
Yeah, it was their party. They were having a party at our expense.
At our expense. Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Great point. Great. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Joe. Yep. Yeah. All right. I love your Iron Man there, Paul. I think all of us should see ourselves as some kind of a hero. We should all look at ourselves as something, because honestly, that we are on something some people refer to as the hero's journey. Look into that. Google that. The hero's journey. Yeah, and see that rabbit hole takes you. But you're here. Oh, I see our friends from technically currently in I'm not New Zealand, but in Australia. But
Brizzy, yeah. Hello, Ace. Hi, everyone.
I see the missus behind you there. So
Yeah, she's arrived.
So welcome. And I know it's been a long time. You've been in
Indonesia and Bali.
Mali, right? That's
Yeah.
that's Bali, which is part of Indonesia, right? Yeah. So
Correct, Ace, yeah.
but you've been, I tell you, Lindsay can't stop talking about you. He's so proud of you.
Yeah, that I am. Thank you, Ace.
I'm sure
putting in the good word for me.
Yeah. He's overjoyed that you're there with him, because he's been really looking forward to you, being, a reunion back together. So congratulations on the reunion, guys, there in Australia.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ace.
And I love Bali. I've been there a couple of times. The first time I went was on a Halloween, and in that same year, it's like, oh, we got to come back here. So we brought the whole family, like 20 or 30 of us. We all got on an airplane, went to Bali,
okay.
and we stayed right in the center part of it for like a week.
Ubud.
For Christmas, we did that. So I did
great.
Halloween and Christmas. I can't remember what year that was, but maybe 5 years ago.
Yep.
But we had
Ubud, was
a
it up?
great time.
Ubud, Ubud, up in the mountains, in the middle, you said?
No,
in the middle area.
I'm talking in the city part of it. There's like
and-
Bali City, and then we went on a tour that took us into the mountains, and we ended up
okay, cool.
we ended up on a swing that was like 1,000 feet in the air, and
Yeah.
you know the tours that they have there,
Pegalalan.
the beach and the surfing, and my son took some surfing lessons while he was there. Just Bali's Bali's magical. Yeah.
Lindsay's quite the surfer.
Are you?
In another life, back in the day.
Back in the
I
day?
surfed for 50 odd years, I haven't surfed for the last I'm actually 60 this month. 60, what am I? 62 this month.
It's hard to keep
losing track. I've lost.
It's okay
Well-
if you lose a few candles on your birthday cake, you know, no one's gonna make a big deal about that. As
Yeah.
long as you don't burn the house down with the candle cake, the candles on the cake.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anybody else want to make a contribution to the topic today? That it's about receiving. And was it helpful to talk about this today?
I think it's very helpful. And I
Great.
think you're right. Maybe, there are some that haven't taken that inner journey yet, or maybe thought about it or heard about it, but it really does make a lot of sense. And if you can develop a strong core, an inner core, the more you can do that, the more you can, get to that, be like a hero, kind of a mentality or a feeling. And things that come your way, they kind of bounce off. And all this stuff that's going to be happening in the next few months, it could be the bouncing off point, for
Yeah,
greater
it
things.
is. It's gonna be just like
Yeah.
that lake video. I'm telling you, it's gonna be those that are
Yeah.
ready to receive, they're gonna go flying, you know?
That's right. Yeah.
They will. This is their launch. Right now, November, December, January, so many people are going to be launched.
That's right.
Because the force of what's coming is significant this go around. So thank you. Appreciate that. You're very well spoken, Joe, by the way. I like how you speak.
He is indeed our bro, Joe.
All
Yeah.
right. So the rest of you are in silent contemplation, it sounds like to me. So it's probably a good time for me to wrap up the video. So let me go ahead and have you guys all unmute and say bye for now.
Bye-bye.
For now.
Later,
Bye for
alligator.
now.
Can I leave you on my account, on our account?